In the next section of the film, I will present the process of modeling a part of the smoke exhaust system in a building using the Promat libraries. I currently have an open project that already contains a system component library. The easiest technique to transfer libraries from a Promat template is to copy the content and paste it into an existing project in one Revit session. We can start the modeling process from defining the requirements, for example, the amount of air removed in a given room. We can place grills or set up a device, for example, a fan. Each system in Revit should be properly classified, so it's worth creating it by copying the existing one. In this case, it is the exhaust air system. After copying the Promat libraries, the rectangular duct system is already available for use. If we have already placed air terminals and equipment, the first step is to create a virtual system with linking elements in group. In the next step, I will start by drawing a straight line segment with the Promat duct system. Before starting, we define the size of the duct as well as the elevation and the system type. Standard fittings are automatically created during the drawing of the ducts. The designer can modify the duct fitting using native Revit options. The elbow will automatically turn into a T. If you want to draw the duct further, it is enough to select the fitting and use the Quick Drawing option coming from the duct connector. Connectors that have predefined dimensions. In the next step, I want to draw a cross connection. In this case, you can draw two intersecting ducts, but this will work correctly only for standard cross fittings that have the same height on all outlets. In this case of the Promat cross fittings, it is also possible, but I think it is better to draw a T first and update it to cross. Thanks to this, we control which connector is the main and which is secondary, with a different height. After place cross-fitting, you only need to draw the connections between the grills. Such a configured connection can be copied to another similar place. In the case of copying, you will often need to break the duct into smaller parts or delete and redraw it. I will finish the rest of the places in the same way. Let's move on to a non-standard fitting. In this example, the axis of the duct is not on the same elevation as the fan. Therefore, I will use a vertical offset. First, non-standard elements should be placed on the existing duct and then adjusted to the project using parameters. In order to see how far I move away from the duct, I will create section view and measure the distance. Then, I will set this value into the Promat family using the dedicated parameter called offset. The user can also connect the fittings with each other to optimize the design. I remove the straight duct segment, turn off the unnecessary stripes and suspensions, and finally grab the connector and move it to the T-fitting connector. Finally, I need to connect to a device that has a round connector. In this case, I will use Revit General Family Multi-Shape Transition. Moving on, I start modeling from the device to the grill mounted in the wall. I start again with a rectangular duct with dimensions, for example 1600. I go down to the lower elevation by entering it in the option bar. As you can see, Revit has created an automatic connection consisting of 2 elbows and vertical segment. Finally, I have to adjust to the grill by changing the size of the duct. To present the smoke exhaust system well, we can also create a filter that we place on the view. This filter applies to the smoke exhaust system, and the rule applies to the type of this system. I set the color for the system using graphic overrides. Another scenario that may appear in the design process is to replace existing ducts with the Promat system duct. As we can see from the example, the duct system was designed with general fittings. First, analyze the existing ductwork and disconnect it in non-standard places. In this case, the ducts are connected by takeoffs, so we also remove them. In place of the takeoffs, we will insert crosses. An important step is to change the run type to Promat duct system. At the end, we should correct the places where the crosses are to appear. A system message may appear during the conversion regarding the removal of ducts that are too short. we finish the ductwork by automatically close the crosses.